And then he's just going to bed like, oh, man, oh, nice shot, Nate. Okay, well, on to the next hole. And I just imagine him just like, he's just making up new videos all night. Welcome to SHOWMEZ with Big Sexy. We've got a new concept here for you guys. We're going to try to get a little bit more wild behind the camera here. Get away from that normal commentary thing all buttoned up.
We're taking the masks off. You guys are used to seeing a professional version of us where we never cut up. But this is kind of our format to be able to let loose and just do the things that we normally want to do. And the things that we are actually doing behind the scenes, you know. Give you a little bit more of a glimpse into the life of Big Sexy when we're with the Jomez crew and just out and about doing stuff.
And it's the stuff we're good at. We're talking no polo shirts. We're talking sweatpants under the table, the kind of stuff where we're really in our element.
That's impressive that you even put pants on this morning. I think that this is something that we've been looking to do for a long time. I think that I've received close to 100 messages a day for 3 years. When are you guys going to do a podcast? And we said, no podcast for us, man. We're all video. Anyhow, we've got some different bits, if you will, and just different segments that we're going to go through. Some traditional stuff and some non-traditional stuff, and just going to see where it goes.
Yeah, excited to see how it evolves. We're really going to be looking to the comments from you guys, the fans, to help us decide, what you would want to see from this show, how often we can try to produce it, and just do silly stuff, go try crazy things. Talk about disc golf a little bit, talk about our lives a lot.
And personally, for me, it's another format for me to figure out how unfunny I am and how annoying I can be on the camera. And so this gives me a secondary way to do that. So it'll be great to read the comments and see you guys bash me and praise Nate.
All right, let's get it started. Let's talk a little bit about what's been going on since the fans got a look at your ugly mug. What have you been doing all off season?
Well, it's been a very interesting offseason for me, just in that I moved in with Jules, and we are living together in a cool area in Charlotte, and I was just able to do what I really want to do during the offseason and just kind of hibernate a bit, play some disc golf here and there, do a little bit of art stuff, which is stuff that I'm really interested in. But for the most part, just really be able to sleep in. I feel like this week I went to bed at 2 and I was waking up at 7, and I felt good about it. But that's the same reason I do that all season. And then I get home and I'm like, just snooze until 10 a.m., and feeling real rested, and I feel good about that. And so I think that kind of helped me feel ready for the season, and that I'm just rejuvenated, What about you?
Oh, man. A lot of the same.
Yeah.
No, not actually. I got a young daughter, as you guys know. So
what?
I'm getting up fairly early. Yeah. Did you not?
Oh, yeah, Coraline.
Yeah,
I forgot about that.
Yeah, so I'm getting up pretty early, but that's fine. I was doing quite a bit of disc golfing now that she's in daycare. I was doing some workouts with, via internet with Seth from Disc Golf Strong, and my roommate for the winter was Chandler Fry. He moved into our downstairs basement with my family, so I had him there to compete against and play golf with. Yeah. And yeah, it was a good off season. A little bit rainy up there in Washington, so got a lot of practice with the raincoat on, hand warmers busting out.
Yeah.
But we had a lot of fun.
And you haven't seen a day of rain since you've been on tour the last 2 weeks, have you?
No, I wouldn't say a day of it. We've had a couple little sprinkles here and there. But yeah, you can see I'm feeling a little sunburn. I'm doing my best. I'm trying to apply a couple times a day, but it's hard to stay ahead of it down here in the desert.
You've been wearing sunscreen. I haven't.
Yeah.
I kind of like the feeling of a little bit of sizzle on my legs. I don't know. Maybe that's a terribly irresponsible thing to do. But
I think no matter how much sunscreen you try to put on, you're still going to feel that sizzle.
Yeah.
So,
well, let's get into the tournaments, because we're 2 tournaments in now, and you mentioned Chandler Fry moving in, and I wonder how much that played into that competitive camaraderie between the two of you, and how, do you feel like you are more prepared for this season than you have been in previous years, or is it pretty similar, or how did that work for you?
I felt pretty similar. I mean, more prepared, I guess, than the last 2 seasons when Coraline was even smaller and I was playing even less. Before she was in daycare, my wife would be very busy with either school or work. And in the winter, I was not getting that much golf in. So I certainly played a lot more golf and was able to, get more putts up and whatever else than I had in the last couple off seasons. And yeah, Chandler was great competing against him. Wish he was a little better because
well, he's at least the fourth best in the state of Washington right now, which is pretty impressive considering there's at least 5 people in Washington.
Yeah, at least. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it was good. He was actually great. He pushed me to play a little bit more than I might have otherwise done.
That's great.
Met some new guys to play with, and we had an awesome time.
Yeah, Paul Gilbert stayed with me one year for about a month or month and a half, and just having him there was like just motivation alone to go play probably way more than I would during the off season. But it was pretty cool. It's having friends close by is great. Yeah. But let's get into the tournaments because I think you did something pretty cool in the Las Vegas Challenge.
Yeah, I mean, I won.
That's pretty cool, man.
Whoa. It was great. I don't know. Just started out 10 under through 9 on the first round. I was a little nervous about the season starting, and then all of a sudden it was like, well, I'm definitely winning, so I guess I might as well lock in here and just keep throwing good shots, and that plan worked for the most part. Yeah.
And then you were battled by your teammate, the ace thrower.
Yep.
The unbelievably talented Garrett Gerthy.
Yep.
And you were able to weather the storm of his beautiful highlight shots, and the young Tristan Tanner came out as a breakout performance, and you were able to shield him off as well and just maintain the wire-to-wire victory, which is one of the most impressive feats you can have on tour. You can call LVC an A tier, but that plays every bit national tour level, disc golf pro tour, major. You're getting an international contention there. You're getting a nationally represented slew of players, and that course is difficult to continue to play well all 4 rounds, and you did it, which I was very happy to watch along when I was down in West Palm.
You were at a wedding in Florida, so couldn't quite make it out, but you might not have won at the Memorial, but you played real strong.
Yeah, I'm very pleased with this last week, and I'd say in all the years I've been playing this Memorial, I've played every single one since 2010. I've had some pretty good weeks here. One time I even won. But I would say this year I actually feel like with all the things that happened, with staying with the Jomez crew, to filming the Jomez show, to playing disc golf with some of my best friends, I had some of the best cards this week. Was the most fun I've had at the Memorial in my entire career, and it included this really amazing, inexplicable hole-in-one.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, playing with you, Paul Uleberry, Bradley Williams, guys that I've known for over a decade, been friends with, super close friends with Brad and Uleberry, and then you were also there. And then, and then getting that hole-in-one, which, if you hadn't seen my Instagram post about it, it was a Spikeiser up to an elevated basket that's sitting about 6 feet off the ground. Yeah. And my disc hit with my concrete slab. It jumped straight up, and it landed in the chains.
Yeah, this wasn't a skip shot. This was a bounce.
It was 100% bounce. And it had it not gone in the basket, I think we all would have still been talking about that shot in a little bit. Obviously not as much, just because it was such a unique reaction when it hit the ground.
Oh, it changed the way I thought about disc physics for a minute there, because I had about a 27-foot putt. I missed it. It splashed out right. Yeah. Hit the ground, and I couldn't help but say, how does that not bounce in? Because I kind of thought the thing was going to come off the ground and just kind of hop back up, and
I think we were all expecting it to bounce in, and it was kind of an unfortunate break for you, but luckily for me, the only ace in the pro field.
Yeah, it is pretty crazy. There's some short holes.
It's surprising. You usually see a couple picked off, but this year the only one was yours truly, and that was a pretty cool thing.
I want to tell a little funny story though from that same round on hole 2.
Uh-oh.
We're all playing hole 2, the par 4 at Fountain. Jeremy throws his second shot with a brand new Halo Thunderbird. It's a little bit hot coming in on that slopey green. Skips down there. We're like, oh, stay in. Spotter puts up the red flag. So we know, okay, you're out. You're going to be putting for par from 35, 40 feet. That's too bad. we get up there and Jeremy's like, hey, could you see the disc? Because the water's really murky there. And if it gets off that edge a little bit too much, you're not going to be able to get it. So he said, oh, no, yeah, I got it. I already picked it up. And we're like, wow,
okay, whew, thank God.
This is great. The guy got the disc. So then as we're walking over there, I'm right behind Jeremy, kind of up high on the hill. And the spotter's like looking at his feet, going like, and Jeremy's like, where'd you put it? And he's like, I put it right here. I put it right here. I set it right here. I just got it out of the water. And then I look up, and about 50, 60 feet out there, just floating on its top, is this Thunderbird just heading out to sea. So I guess the spotter had grabbed it out of the water and set it upside down, and the waves just kind of went
and just took it away
and just pulled her in and took her out to the middle. And yeah, we're never getting that one back. But I don't want the guy to feel bad though, because it's a tricky spot.
Yeah,
because there's been plenty of times when players, I think sometimes unduly, have sort of like freaked out about, why you moved my disc? How are we gonna know?
Mm-hmm.
The spotters are out there volunteering, doing their best. We as professionals, that's not always going to be exactly the same. We got to be able to make group decisions.
Yes.
So I've seen some times where players get a little bit too angry about that, and then it's this whole thing about spotters never touch the discs.
Yeah.
But then it's like, now you got one in the water. This thing could be slipping away into the murkiness as it is. So he acts quick. Mm-hmm. He grabs it. He doesn't want to move it inbounds too much, because then he's worried we come up there and go, wait, where was this thing?
Yeah,
and if you get some guy who's having an attitude day. So it's tough. I guess the only thing I would say is we can't set them upside down. And I wouldn't even have thought of that. But upside down is kind of like a little boat, and it just got out there and it's sailing away.
It still is sailing, if not being sunk by the fountain.
She sunk.
Yeah, she sunk. It was a funny position to be in, as the person whose disc is now floating away.
It was really funny to be there when it wasn't my disc, too.
Okay, cool.
It was actually really funny to be
All
there.
right, thanks, buddy. So I'm sitting there, and I'm in a position where I've now got to make my putt for par, and I failed to do so, but that's not the point of the story. But I'm sitting there, and you have to kind of take everything with a grain of salt, because this guy's out here to help us.
Yeah.
And so, of course I'm a little bit like annoyed that my disc is floating away, but it wasn't so annoying that I couldn't realize the humor of the situation.
Yeah.
And smile and look at my card like, is this actually happening right now?
And you could tell the guy felt terrible.
Oh, I know. And so I actually, as annoyed as I may have been, like if it had been somebody I had known and maybe I had a history with, and like maybe had a reason to hold something over their head, I might have been annoyed for the moment.
Yeah.
But actually, as soon as I had realized what had happened, I like looked at you guys with this like jaw drop, like smile / like.
Yeah.
But then I never felt mad at the guy.
No.
Not even for a second, because I was sitting there just thinking to myself, this guy probably feels so bad. And I actually felt bad for him for feeling bad, because, what's he doing? He's out there just watching disc golf and trying to be of service to us.
Yeah.
And, as players, I think that people just kind of lose themselves and think, okay, everything's about them when they're playing disc golf. And it's not always about them, And so if you can take yourself away from the moment and look at the ridiculousness of the scenario, it was just kind of silly. I'd never seen anything like that before, but it was that whole round just was incredibly memorable for myself, and I'll never forget that I beat you by a stroke. That's the most memorable thing about it.
That was good.
Oh man!
And I think we can roll straight into another little funny thing that happened this week. We had sort of an interesting bedroom situation. Let me tell you that.
Yeah,
it's a great Airbnb.
Yeah,
but it was like a big wide room with 3 queen beds, and then it had these like temporary dividers if you wanted to use them. Say like Jerm is just on his iPad at 3 a.m. playing this shark game, and it's like kind of bright. Then you might put your divider. But Thomas Gilbert, who's staying with us, young kid out of Canada, only 20 years old. He's on Team Innova as well. He was in the closet, and it's a pretty big closet. We got the queen air mattress in there with like
room to spare.
A couple millimeters of extra room, perhaps. So he's squeezed in there pretty tight. And we'd kind of shut him in there at night and, tuck him in, and he's good to go. And then middle of the night, I'm asleep.
Yeah.
Jerm, take it from here.
Well, thank you for the setup. So I'm up late, use the bathroom, come back. I'm about ready to go to bed. and Thomas has been asleep for a while. I mean, you can just hear the snoozing going on around me. You provided some incredible acoustics throughout the evening, but so I can tell that this is one person is awake in this room situation. And, and then I hear just like at pretty much room level talking, just out of nowhere, and blah 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 blah. Something started it off, and then the next words were, "And there's a green Excal thrown to perfection." It was in Thomas's voice.
Yeah.
And then he said one more word, and then it trailed off, and there was nothing. And I was like a little bit confused because it was so clear what he had said that it didn't sound like sleep talking.
Yeah.
So I realized it was because there was nothing else. He wasn't watching any videos.
No.
There was, and there's only one, as far as I know, there's only one round where he ever did commentary. But had he been watching a video, there would have been a lot more talking afterwards. So this guy was literally dreaming of doing commentary for you because you are the only guy that we know that throws a green out Excal and usually to perfection. So he was not only dreaming about you, he was dreaming about how good you are. And I actually laughed out loud by myself in the middle of the night, realizing what was going on.
And it's just funny because Thomas just eats and sleeps disc golf. Like he's watched every video there is.
He's a savant.
He's like, if you ask him, like he's like, "Hey, didn't you throw that in 2016?" And I'm like, "Are you kidding me, Thomas? Like I don't know." But he knows. So it's just so funny to think that he's finally asleep, young guy out on the road. Toronto's in the rear view mirror. He's out here living for like the first time in his life. And then he's just going to bed like, "Oh man, nice shot, Nate. Okay, well, on to the next hole." And I just imagine him just like, he's just making up new videos all night. And it was just funny. It's just about as Thomas as it gets.
It really is. I mean, you could be like, what was the third disc that I had thrown on the fourth round of this tournament? And we showed him one video earlier this week, and it was from 2013, I think. And Thomas looked at us, 2013, 7 years ago.
And he's been playing for 2 or 3.
He's been playing for just a few years. And we showed him a video, and he looked at us, and like he had this like amazed like wonderment in his eye because he realized he hadn't seen this video.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like there's more. Like Thomas, oh my God, like take it easy.
Yeah.
There's other things out there. But he loves the sport, and that's one of the things I think we can all relate to, the guys that are on tour and the people that we meet, is that excitement.
Yeah.
And we love that. I personally love to meet somebody who just is like, I can't get enough. Like it's just a sponge for information. I relate to that a lot. My early days, we didn't have that much information that you could go on to YouTube or read about or watch or anything. And now that people have that opportunity, that luxury, it's really cool to see this new wave of players and enthusiasts and see the way that they respond. And Thomas is right there at the top of enthusiastic.
So getting back here to Memorial was the first time all of us got back together again since Jomez and you weren't at Las Vegas. So we knew that we needed to kind of try to put something out as far as like a start of the year skit. We've kind of done a lot of little skits over the years and had an awesome time kind of trying to think them up and execute them, from like the thing at the IDGC with Yeti and sneaking the discs in the Hall of Fame to the campfire one to the Welcome to Las Vegas one and probably some other ones I'm forgetting. But we were trying to think of a way to top it, but we didn't have a whole lot of time. We were kind of up against it with like a day or two to go, and we were like, well, maybe we'll just go more serious this year. I don't know. And then we were just sitting around the table, and we just kind of got into that idea of trying to make that sitcom goof, and hopefully you've seen it. We put that up on YouTube, and it turned out pretty fun.
It was about as much fun as you can have for one day, and that was the really cool thing about this crew, is that they're so talented. They know what they can do and how to do it. That basically we went from conception to filming to editing all in a single day. And I believe somebody, I don't know how it got started, but there was like somebody who'd watched or was showing the group Too Many Cooks. And it wasn't based on like, hey, I've got this idea.
Yeah.
We were just laughing about a funny gag.
Yeah.
Which is if you haven't seen Too Many Cooks on Adult Swim, you gotta check it out. It's long. It's like 11 minutes.
And
it gets really weird.
It does get a bit dark for the kids.
But it's the same thing as it's a 90s sitcom spoof. And then I think just naturally somebody, I think it might have even been me. I was like, let's do a 90s sitcom spoof and then like do a lot of like these type shots.
Yeah.
And like it's just kind of a funny idea that was just, I didn't really take it serious. But then everyone's like, we can do this. And,
Yeah.
and then we started getting excited about the idea. And then we started sharing like, hey, we should like do a scene where like the camera's backwards and we got to switch the camera around and then, you know, Brian should be walking slow and then actually everything else is going real time around him. And then like the next thing you know, you have a funny thing to laugh at and it really kicks off the excitement of the season.
And I like it too because, you know, we got a big crew and all these guys behind the camera, you maybe don't get that great of a chance to even see their face or know their name. So I was glad that we got a chance to kind of recognize the whole team and also, you know, just get to do something silly. I was so excited when I got to the course the first day. I was just like walking past people going like, check Jomez. Hey, check Jomez, guys. Get over there. You're going to want to see what's up there. And just wanting to hear people's reactions to it. Because it was just a fun thing that we put a bunch of time into. And then, yeah, you know, I hope we can keep doing it. I don't know how we're going to top this one, but I'm sure we can figure it out.
Yeah, I mean, with the production team that we've got, I mean, watching Samurai Mike on the edits, this guy is like laser quick, super accurate, knows exactly how to get the effects that he wants.
Yeah.
You may know him as Follow Flight Mike, but this guy is out there just hammering out edits. And so like we can do some cool stuff, and we're going to definitely pass out some more ideas in the future because, you know, I don't want this to be a once a year type thing. I don't think any of us want that.
Yeah.
We want to be able to do more stuff like that. It's just basically, if we got the idea for it and we got the energy and the time, you know, we're going to pump out more of that stuff. So, you know, if you guys like love that stuff, you got to let us know, because if you want to see more of it, you know, we want to bring more of it too. So, you know, it was a lot of fun. It was definitely the way that you want to start off a fun event where you're saying hi to all your friends. Having something like that to go with all of that was just, it was a blast.
We're going to try out a new segment where the Jomez guys pick out a photo of something from this great wide world of ours, and we're going to try to have a little debate.
Yeah, is it big?
Or is it sexy?
Oh, wow. Okay.
Okay.
First image, the Eiffel Tower in Luxembourg, I believe.
I mean, right off the bat, my brain goes big.
Yeah.
But I'm already starting to kind of waffle on that. I mean, obviously it's huge.
Yeah.
It's been there a long time. There was a time when it was first built, it was clearly big.
It was the tallest freestanding structure in the world when it was built, I believe.
I think you might be right about that. So definitely got a couple big points. For me, I honestly kind of almost feel like this is weather dependent. I mean, I think on a sunny day, maybe like a moonlit night, that's a sexy structure.
I'm going to stop you right there, Nate. You're absolutely wrong about this. This is a big structure, but it's not big in today's world. This is a sexy monument here. This is the symbol for the city of love.
Yeah, okay.
Paris, France. There's not a more romantic, I mean, the city of love is Philadelphia, let's be honest. But the most romantic place in the world is arguably and probably most widely agreed upon Paris, France.
Yeah.
This is sexy, man. And there's something about this that just shows compassion and love. I'm not even going to allow you to say big one more time about it.
Well, picture this. It's 15 degrees.
Nope.
There's a fog blowing in. There's ice on the metal. Nobody's at the park. It's 6 a.m.
Yeah.
That thing is big as hell.
Nah, man. You're there alone. How intimate is that? That's sexy, man.
Dude, if it was dark and foggy and cold, it wouldn't be intimate at all.
Well, I disagree with you, and I think the world will as well.
All right, so we got to make a decision here. Obviously, you're coming in. You're going full sexy on the Eiffel Tower.
Sexy.
I have reservations, but I'm not about to go stick my neck out on this. I'm going to go vote sexy with you. That's a sexy object.
Sexy. Okay.
Is that a baritone sax? That's huge. I think that's a baritone.
Okay. Well, I'll go ahead and start off with this one. I'm gonna say that is big. And the reason is I think it makes big sound, big noise, and for the life of me, I can't think of what sound that is, but I imagine it's gigantic.
Don't you remember when we saw Too Many Zoos?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh. Yeah. That's big noise, man. I think this isn't even a debate in my eyes. This is big, and I can't think of that instrument putting me in the mood.
You might need to play back that Too Many Zoos one more time, man.
Okay. Well, are you saying sexy?
I'm not just gonna derail the whole segment and go big right off the bat. I mean, look at that guy.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good-looking guy playing a nice-looking instrument. I can give you that, but that's one of the larger handheld instruments I've ever seen in my life.
It is very large. But look at that shine, look at the curves, look at the, I can just see how he would sway.
I mean, I am definitely a big fan of a well-constructed instrument, but
I guess it's not that big.
all right, let's vote.
Yeah, okay.
I'm going big.
I'm going to stay on sexy for this.
All right.
We're a split decision.
Next. Ooh.
Wow.
All right.
Topical.
Wow, very topical. Okay, we got the fountain here at Fountain Hills, Arizona. At the time, it was the largest fountain in the world, going up to over 200 something feet.
I think 500. I think if they turn the thing all the way
that's
on,
right.
it goes real. And I think the thing I want to key in on there is you said largest. Nobody said this was the sexiest fountain in the world, and it's not close. This thing is huge. It's a brute, and that water is nasty.
Yeah, no, there's nothing sexy about
There's
the water.
nothing sexy about this. This fountain is raw power, huge energy.
Yeah.
It's big, no question. But no way do you want to be wearing a full set of clothes around this thing. You do not want to.
Yeah, well, I think that there's an argument to the sexiness of the surrounding area. Fountain Hills, Arizona is a place where a lot of snowbirds come down to avoid snow and to feel the warmth of the sun.
Yeah.
And this place is just the reason Fountain Hills is known internationally is because of this beautiful fountain.
Okay.
There's something about that I think makes this sexy in many ways. I mean, let's say you're at the fountain. It's a nice, cool 70 degrees for Arizona, which is a nice night for Arizona.
Is it night?
It's nighttime. We're going to set up a nighttime scenario.
Okay.
We got a full moon.
Okay.
And right at the peak of the fountain is that full moon. And it seems almost in a way that the moon is being held up by the fountain's power.
And maybe like most of the retirees have gone to bed at this point?
Oh, they've been asleep for hours.
Okay, so you kind of got the park to yourself.
You got the park to yourself, and there's just the lights of the beautiful architecture surrounding this lake reflecting off into your eyes as you're standing there with the love of your life and you propose.
Dude, you weave a great tale, but without the fountain, it's sexier. Without the fountain, it's way smaller.
Oh, man.
But the fountain is not adding in the sexy department. It is full. It's 100% beef. Big, big, big.
Okay. All right, let's vote, man.
Give me big.
I'm going to go big as well.
Good. Wow. That you scared me.
I'm sorry. It's bigger than it is sexy, but there is a sexy element to it.
And we've got another segment that we're going to need your help with.
Yeah, we want to see videos of you and your friends playing. Send us some clips to SHOWMEZ at JomezPro.com. The thing is, we're not interested in highlights.
Yeah, we're looking for you to go into your camera roll, go back 2-3 years, and find that one clip of where the guy spit out, rolled all the way down the hill, and you couldn't stop laughing about it. That's the one we want. And we want to see that all the way to its conclusion. Let this guy hole out. Let us see a 7. Don't even try to stage this. We're going to know.
We've seen all the kinds of shanks you can possibly see. We've even thrown a couple. Nate more than I, but we know if it's fake. So bring that real stuff to us, and we've got a really good segment for the next show. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching the first iteration of SHOWMEZ with Big Sexy. I'm big.
And I'm still sexy.
Catch you guys next time.
What's up, everyone? Thank you so much for watching the first ever episode of SHOWMEZ. We really hope you enjoyed it. We certainly had a lot of fun making it. We've been wanting to do something like this for a really long time, and I'm really excited that we were able to finally make it happen. We've got some really awesome things planned for episode 2, but before I get into that, I want to take the time to thank those that made this episode possible. I'm talking about our patrons over at patreon.com/JomezPro. We've got such an amazing community there of over 2,000 people that have backed us through thick and thin, especially now with the way things are, and it's like we're not even supposed to be leaving the house and trying to be safe. People like that over at Patreon are the reason that we're able to make stuff like this, and it really just pushes us to want to get out of our comfort zone and make some things outside of the coverage that you're used to seeing. So thank you to the SHOWMEZ squad, to the Follow Flight fam, and to the Founders Club, the names scrolling right over here. We certainly, absolutely, without a doubt, could not do it without all of you. Now, as far as episode 2, I don't even want to give away too much because I'm so excited for what we've got planned. It's kind of along the same lines of what you just saw, but there's kind of a twist in there too. So if you stay tuned to JomezPro.com, stay tuned to our social media, over on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram for more details coming up. But the episode is going to be coming up next week. I'm really excited for it. Thank you so much for watching this episode, and make sure to let us know down in the comments what you thought of this, what you might want to see from future episodes, and we'll see you in the next one.